Buonasera and welcome back to our sessions. These are videos that cover different topics for learners of different levels. So some of these videos will be especially for beginners and others instead will be for intermediate or advanced level. And so feel free to watch any of them or all of them. And by the way, thank you very much for subscribing, liking, and commenting on my videos. I have also separately in a playlist, there is a course of Italian for beginners. So I started from lesson one, so started from the very, very basics, and then adding more to it and getting better and better. We are at the moment at lesson 12. Anyway, today we are not going to talk about grammar. We've got something else, which is maybe a little bit more fun, or at least we'll have a bit of a change. We're going to talk about we're going to see some expressions that we use, modi di dire, ways of saying. In particular, we do when we are commenting on something, on somebody in particular. Sometimes we use food as a comparison. What else really in Italy? So let's see some of these expressions that I have thought about, and hopefully I'm sharing. There it is. Let's see if you've heard some of them before and if they make sense to you. Let's see them first. And as I said, some will not necessarily make sense, or you won't necessarily find them funny, as I'm making out them to be. Um, but they may, you might find them a little bit odd because you have to keep in mind there is a cultural reference here. So it really does show how much food is important to Italians. So they're always thinking about food, whatever they're doing, I think. So, as I said, modi di dire, ways of saying. Let's see the first one. The first one, this is when you tell somebody that they are in mezzo come il prezzemolo. Normally, the actual sentence would be sei sempre in mezzo come il prezzemolo. Like, sei sempre in mezzo come il prezzemolo. You are always in the way like parsley. Uh, for me, it's funny, obviously. So normally this expression you would hear maybe a parent, especially a mother, telling a child, really, they are just in the way, you're walking somewhere and the child is just always there. Or sometimes if there is a conversation among adults, for example, or not necessarily just only adults, and this child keeps interrupting or want to be part of the conversation, for example. So you can tell them that they are in the way like parsley. So why? This because we use parsley a lot. Parsley is, in general, is one of the basic ingredients to make the sauce for pasta. I'm not going to give you the recipe now, don't worry. But yes, parsley is, as I said, one of the very basic ingredients when we are making the sauce, and not only when we are cooking so many other things. Normally there is garlic or onion, olive oil, obviously, parsley. So that's why you can, if somebody is always in their way, you can compare them to parsley. Another one, normally this is used when we are talking about the sea. For example, you go to the beach and you say, and you observe or describe the water when the sea is really, really calm. And you can say that il mare è liscio come l'olio, as smooth as oil, olive oil, obviously. You know, when, yeah, the sea, especially in the Mediterranean, not only, obviously, it's so calm that there are no waves at all, and it really looks so smooth. You can't see any ripples, nothing, exactly like oil. So olive oil. So il mare è liscio come l'olio. And talking about liscio, smooth, somebody can also have I capelli lisci come spaghetti o dritti come spaghetti. So capelli is hair, which is plural because we talk about hairs. So individual, every individual one. So hairs are smooth or straight like spaghetti. So think about uncooked, obviously, spaghetti. They are really straight. They're not going to bend. There's no bends and there are no curls, nothing. So if your hair is really, really straight, you can say that they are as straight as spaghetti. So lisci o dritti, come spaghetti. And talking about well, more food, really. This is an expression instead that you hear normally at the beginning of the summer when the weather is starting to be warm, but you haven't been to the beach yet. So you are not a little bit, a little bit darker. You didn't sunbathe, so oh, I can't think of the word now. You're not tanned, you don't have a tan. So you are, in that case, you are bianco come una mozzarella. Or if you're talking to a woman, bianca come una mozzarella. You are as white as mozzarella. So go and sunbathe, please. We are in June already. How can it be so bianco or bianca? So yes, this is time already to go to the beach and do a bit of sunbathing. And talking about colors, I think I've heard this expression from somebody who is not Italian. And in fact, by the way, it would be interesting to know if in some of your countries you use the same expressions. Now, in fact, I'm claiming they're all Italians, but at least they are in Italian. But let me know, have you ever heard these expressions, not just in Italian by Italians, but also in some other countries or something similar as well? So we were saying this next one, you can be rosso if you are a male or rossa, female, come un pomodoro. So, for example, if you've blushed or you've been doing exercise and you get all, red, so you can be red like a tomato. As I said, I've had one person who is not Italian using this expression, and she was German. So I wonder, in fact, I remember when she said it, and I wonder if it is the same expression in Germany or in other countries. And then the next one, somebody can have mani di pasta frolla, hands made of crust pastry, the very brittle one. Pasta frolla crumbles really easily. So this, if you're holding something and you drop it, it falls out of your hands, then you say, oh, hai le mani di pasta frolla. So your hands are made of crust, no, yeah, crust pastry. So yeah, they are so brittle that things fall out of your hands. And next one, you hear this if you are at the table and you've eaten a little bit too much. Maybe it's like a menu, in fact, this list is like a menu. Maybe you've eaten some of those dishes And so you can be pieno o piena come un uovo, full like an egg. Because in an egg, there aren't, I think there is one little air bubble, but otherwise it's completely full, there is no space for anything inside an egg, either boiled or otherwise, it doesn't matter, there is not importance. But you are pieno come un uovo, full as an egg. And still at the table, somebody, I don't know if it's mainly, or maybe I've heard it's mainly describing a man in a specific situation, but not necessarily. So somebody can have occhi da pesce lesso. So when somebody's eyes are as lively as a boiled fish, so a dead fish, basically, so not lively at all. So, for example, yeah, you're saying that somebody is a little bit, is not very, it is not showing much expression in their eyes. So maybe there is nothing behind, a little bit airhead, maybe. Or I said, it doesn't have a very intelligent look in his face. Finally, this is a very nice one. Somebody can be, finally, in fact, compliment, unlike almost everything else. Somebody can be buono o buona come il pane, as good as bread. So good in the sense, when you're saying this, a person is buono or buona, somebody is good-hearted. So if you describe somebody as good as bread, which is one of the yummiest, I think, things you can have, just think about freshly baked bread, for example, whichever type of bread you prefer. It is one of the best things that you can eat. So I hope you've enjoyed this list or this menu, as I've just called it. And let me know, as I said, I'm really curious to know if you've had them before, if you have only heard them in Italy or said by Italians, or if you have exactly the same in whichever country you're listening from. Or something similar, some food maybe, and not necessarily these ingredients that I have mentioned, which are very specific of when we talked about food, it's very specific of the Italian cuisine, the Mediterranean diet. Anyway, and talking about Mediterranean, you may have noticed my new picture on the profile, not the face, the beautiful, beautiful beach. The pictures that I put as main image are the pictures that I take. They're not from some gallery or whatever. So I took that picture very recently, about half an hour away from here. 30 minuti da qui, or mezz'ora da qui. Showing off, obviously. So that is una spiaggia bellissima. I'm sure you will agree with me. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope it maybe made you smile, at least, if not, have a little giggle. And obviously, I had fun. So thank you very much for listening, and hopefully I'll see you on our next one. Bye, ciao.